Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback. Departure check completed. Bypass pin inserted. Locking gear.
Good afternoon, everybody. Just going to jump into the cockpit. It is noisy out here. How y'all doing? It's Monday, new week starting. Hope you are all doing very well. Looks like there'll be a few of us today. Let's say we got Oki, Nick, Talia joining me on the flight as we head over to northwestern India in Ahmedabad. So just a couple admin notes before we go. This will be the last stream for 2 weeks. I'm heading out on Wednesday for a bit of a holiday, so we'll be picking up our live streams again on the next leg of this trip, Monday. I think it will be the 28th of November. So we will see you all then on live stream. I will have some videos coming out while I'm away, so there'll be some stuff on the channel. A couple other notes. I have been flying the new Microsoft DC-3. If you are flying it, there's an issue with it. So if you go into the content page, you'll notice there's two files. There's the main one and an enhanced one. Apparently the main one is the Xbox compatible aircraft, and the enhanced one is all the additional stuff for PC users. Okay, welcome. But the enhanced one for the DC-3, there's an error, there's issues with it. So if you uninstall both of them and then just reinstall the base one, the aircraft flies a lot better. I've done some test flying on that. You'll see the same thing with the A310. There's the two files. Now there is a couple issues with it, not as severe. I was watching British AvGeek this morning, and he mentioned that Inabuilds is aware, and there should be an update for it coming. I've done some testing and stuff like that, and I'll be doing some test flying with that one to get used to that, and there's a lot to it. But for today, we're in the Phoenix A320, the old 214 with the old engines, and we're going to be flying out of Dubai here. So we do have ATC up at Dubai. We'll be getting a hold of them shortly for our clearance. Weather here in Dubai is great. It's interesting over in our destination at Ahmedabad in India. It is IFR, not because of clouds. There's no clouds, and this is the first time I've ever seen this because of smoke. So it looks like we'll be going into a smoky India there for our arrival. But we might as well start getting our setup and getting ready to go. I have 110 passengers flying with us today, and about a 2-hour, 40-minute flight time. So all our cockpit preparations are complete. The parking brake is set. Ground power is connected. External power is on. Batteries 1 and 2 now coming online. And we are going to start the loading. So we'll pop down here. We'll bring up our pad here. Get into the Phoenix aircraft portion. We're going to bring in our flight plan. We're going to adjust our departure time to 2015. I didn't do it on when I did the initial flight plan. But there we go. It is now in. So if we come over here and we look at our arrival, you can see the FU here. The FU is smoke, actually. I have to look it up. Yeah, it's making conditions IFR in India, which I found really interesting. Anyway, over to the ground services. We're all hooked up, and we are hooked up to the jetway currently. We'll come over to our mass and balance. As you can see, we have 110 passengers coming with us on today's flight. Our fuel is $8664, which is correct, and our cargo of 2405. So we are good to start our loading there. Tell them to load the aircraft, and off we go. And then we can continue with the rest of the setup. Interesting point on the ATIS, the departure ATIS, it mentions departure runway in use is 30 right, and then at the bottom it says 30 right is closed. Single runway operation, so I'm assuming we're going off on 30 left. Alright, so we'll come up top. Oops. Let's get, there we go. We'll get the ADIRs up and going. There's 1, 2, and 3. EVAC sign is in Captain Purser, our signs. No smoking, and seatbelt signs are both on. Lights, we are on system 1, and that is good. Just turn up the integrated lights a little bit so we can see what's going on. Crew oxygen supply now coming on. Generators 1 and 2 are on and in fault. Packs 1 and 2 are on and in fault. That's because the engines aren't running and the engine generators are not on. We'll do our overhead test. There's our fire test. There's our, oh, they did too. There's our engine 1 and our engine 2. Well, it is getting late there. It's almost, I think, 11 o'clock at night, 11 p.m. for them, so not surprised. Cabin temperatures, we're going to keep where they are. I think the temperature in Dubai right well, it's 29 degrees actually. So we're gonna we'll click it down 2 notches. Just let her cool down a little bit. Emergency exit lights are now armed. Icing indicator standby compass is on, and cargo heat is set to cold. Down to the FMC we go. So that is all good. We'll come over here to Roger. We'll see if we've got a loading message here from company headquarters. We do. So here's our initial load. Accept that. And let's see what we have. Everything is looking good. And food and water are being reset, and that is all good there. We don't have, we do. We have 10 business class passengers and 100 economy class passengers on today's flight. So into the FMC, have database good to the 30th of November. That's all good. We will request our flight plan. There we go. OMDB to VAAH. It's all correct. Flight number today is UKV 5556 because we're on the world tour. It's not a scheduled flight. 25 is the cost index, and our cruise altitude for today's flight is going to be 37,000 feet, flight level 370. Tropo today is 56,228. It's going to be well above us, not going to be a concern. We'll grab the winds for our climb and descent. Yeah, planning 31 left. It's the closer one, and it's the one they were using before they shut down. So wind requests and winds are all in. We are all good there. We're going to come over to our second page here, and we'll grab some preliminary information. Let's see. So according to the plan, it's 63.1 for our takeoff weight, and the zero fuel weight will be 54.6. Actually, 54.7. And our CG is takeoff is 27.8. Zero fuel weight, center of gravity 300. I can do their planning. Block fuel will be 8.6 tons. And there we go. So this is going to do all these calculations here and get ready. Flight plan today, we are flying out of Dubai. We're going to be departing off of runway 30 left, and we're going to be using the Ivoro 1 Foxtrot departure. There we go. That is selected, no transitions, and we will insert that. So we're going to climb out. There's our points, a little bit of speed restrictions, some altitude constraints, and that takes us, looking at the charts, that takes us out to Avero, the exit point, and our en route portion, and that is all good. Let's clear these messages. Over to our arrival. So the winds at the moment are neutral. The terminal is at the western end of the runway, so I'm planning to land on runway 23, I think it is, which means we'll be exiting down by the apron, and that will I mean, we're not doing some huge taxis, so we'll be doing the ILS for 23. And it will be the ILS Zulu for runway 23. We'll be transitioning at VAAH. So our arrival will be the ILS Zulu runway 23. We're coming in at VAAH on the VAAH 1 Alpha, and that is good. There's a lot of waypoints on today's route since we're doing a few airways. And I just want to take a look at our arrival. Let's make sure it's all correct. There's the VAAH, there's VAAH 380, then 368 with some altitude restrictions and speed restrictions. Those are all correct. Somebody got caught by the bot for spanning caps. 380. Why are you not doing the rest of it? $388. No, it should be 3036. It should then
Hello,
be.
ladies and gentlemen. I would love to welcome you aboard our flight. When you find your seat, please be sure to place your larger carry-on items in the overhead bins and smaller items underneath the seat in front of you. Unless you're in the front row, please place all of your items in the overhead bin. If you have any trouble finding a location for your carry-on items, please let a flight attendant know and we would be happy to assist you. After you put your carry-on items in the overhead bin and it is full, make sure you close it as a courtesy to other passengers. Also be sure that the aisle is clear and sit down so that way other passengers can get by you.
That should be
If you're seated
210
in an emergency exit row, please review the exit seating responsibilities and the safety guard provided for you. Please make sure that you are able and willing to perform these actions. If you're not, please let a flight attendant know so that way you can be reseated. Now's the time to get out
and then it goes to 388. That's right.
We ask that once we
So
depart
insert that, and then I'm going to clear that disco.
Thank you and welcome aboard.
So 380-368 AH 416, and then clear that. Three AH, and then it's a manual turn to CI-21. That is correct. And that will then take us in on the arrival. Nightbot, you getting involved in this too? I did take out all the commands out of Nightbot. Alright, let's take a look at our plan. Looks like we just got our halfway loaded message. So we'll come over to the flight plan. We're going to be taking off. We're going to turn out over to the coast, head a little bit north, and turn inbound eastwards. As you can see, we're then going to fly out over Dubai and the UAE, out over the water south of Pakistan, staying out over the water into VAAH. Yeah, so we're going to come around here and then we'll vector ourselves down. We can probably just remove that and then remove the disco, insert, and we'll just put in that turn and come around, and that will all work. So that's our plan done. So the FMC is set up, the MCDU is set. Don't have to worry about getting our clearance since ATC is currently offline. So we're going to set our altimeters. Our altimeters are currently 1014. So they're set and cross-checked. Transponder will set to 2000. It is set. PWS is going auto. GSC is going auto. And we're just waiting on the boarding to be done. Fueling is done and cargo is loaded. We have a company message, our secondary updated load sheet. So that is coming in. And let's set up our charts. So it's interesting, on the A310 the weather radar is working, which is nice to see. Alright, so ground charts for Dubai. We are currently located here, Concourse B. We're going to push back facing southeast. We're going to taxi down here to probably Kilo 15 Alpha here. We'll come out, we'll be taking off in that direction out to the northwest. And as mentioned, we are going off on the Ivero 1 Foxtrot. So we're going to be flying out this way, turning to the north and up along the coast, and then in out to Ivero. At this point, we're going to be off on our cross country. As you can see, we're going to cross over the peninsula and then head down across the water, south of Pakistan, coming ashore just at the border, and then down here into south or northwestern India. Our arrival is the VATSim 1 Alpha. We're going to come in, make a left turn, and basically enter a bit of a downwind pattern, and then we're going to come around for the arrival, or for the approach, sorry. And the approach is going to be the ILS Zulu for runway 23. 23 seems to be the main runway here. We'll pick it up, come in, and do our landing. And the airport. As you can see, we'll be landing here. We're going to taxi down to Apron 2, because Apron 2 is where the international terminal is. See here, so we'll be coming in on Apron 2 and parking up in one of these gates here, 31 to 36. And that is the plan for the flight. So we'll come back over here to our start charts. We'll pull up the airport, and there we go. So wait for everybody to get on board, and still got some time. There's 4 of us heading out on the flight today. Pop out, we'll take a look. I think there's a few of them. I think that's Talia in the Indigo. Malav, that's Oki. I recognize his aircraft. And Tui, there's Nick over there. So we're all here on the B concourse at Dubai. And that's an Air France coming in. Air France A310 out of Paris Charles de Gaulle. Yeah, sometimes you got to do a little bit of editing and look at the charts and try to figure out exactly how you want it to go. A little bit of a massage. So A310 coming in.
We're ready to go when you are.
And we're ready to go. So let's hop back over to the system here. We can dismiss the boarding. I'm going to resend the load sheet.
Flight 5556. Good service to India. Our flight time will be roughly 2 hours and 8 minutes. Please note the cabin
We'll come back down here. We should have our new load sheet. This is our final sheet. So we're in compliance and everything. So we have our zero fuel weight and our takeoff weight and our packs. So we have 110 passengers, 6 crew, that's pilot, co-pilot, and 4 cabin crew. I'm going to accept that. So we're going to come over here. We're quickly going to do an update on our NB page. So our zero fuel weight, 55.2. So a slight change from what they were estimating when they did the flight planning. And our center of gravity at zero fuel weight is 28.8. So we'll come over here and 28.8. We'll enter that in, so now it's in the computer and everything is good. So we're going to come over to here now. And we'll do our calculation. So we're going to be going off on 30 left. Surface is dry. It'll be a flaps 1F. Not forcing the toga. Anti-ice will not be on. Packs will be on. We'll bring in our load sheet numbers. And the winds is all in. Here's the runway information. 4,447 meters. Massive. And winds. So we'll do our calculation. We're not doing intersection takeoff really, so we got plenty of room. And there's our numbers. So I'm going to pop out so I can get this all entered in and see everything while I do it. So over to our performance page. Our V1 is going to be 140. VAR of 140. It's our rotation speed. V2 of 143. We're doing a flaps 1 with up 0.4 for the trim, and our flex temperature is 68 degrees on the D rate. So that is all now entered in. Head back over here to our charts. And we can carry on our checks. So let's let them know that we're going to be ready to go in a second.
Cockpit to ground.
Go ahead, flight deck.
We will be ready shortly.
Roger.
All right, so APU master on. Bringing in the tug. And APU start. We'll tune our radios now, 122.8. We didn't have to call for clearance, so we didn't have to do that earlier. The radios are now set. Jetway is removed. Chocks are removed. Once we get on APU power, we can remove the GPU. %. Generators are coming online. 100%. APU is available for power. APU bleed air is on. Quickly come over here to our ground services. Chocks have been removed. Ground power is now removed. There we go. Everything is kicked over, and that is all gone.
Jet 464 radio check.
Loud clear.
Thanks very much.
There's you're going over to 40, I'm going over to 10. So we are all set. There, so APU is on, APU bleed is on, and APU is available. External power is now disconnected. Takeoff data is set 140, 143. The FCU is set, and we're going to do an initial climb altitude of 10,000 feet. Flight directors are both on, radios are set. So beacon light is now coming on. Fuel pumps are all on. Oh, go away. Fuel pumps are all on. Ignition mode selector switch and engine start is next. That happened on our cargo flight on Saturday. Just as I was landing, I got this big disconnect thing popped up right in front of me, which is a real pain. So let's get out here. We'll set up our push. Just want to make sure we can see where we're going. So we'll get the indicator out. That is almost bang on where we want it. But we want to be facing the other way. So that's going to be like 110 degrees. There we go. That is set. I was getting them before the update too. I was getting them a lot after the last update actually. Dubai area traffic skyways 5556 gate Foxtrot 21 push and start facing southeast.
Cockpit to ground.
Go ahead, flight deck.
We are ready for pushback and engine start.
Roger. Release the parking brakes, please.
Parking brakes released.
Pushing back.
Right, pushback has commenced. As soon as we're clear of the equipment, we will, oh, Nick just turned his beacon on.
You're clear behind, and you can start your engines at your discretion.
Ignition mode selector to start.
When the seatbelt light is fastened, please make
Everything
sure
is
that your
checked,
seatbelts are
starting
fastened
engine
momentarily
number
across your lap.
2.
Fasten and insert the metal fittings into one another and tighten by pulling on the loose end of the strap. To release your seatbelt, lift the upper portion of the buckle. Please adjust to keep your seatbelt fastened throughout the entire flight as you may experience unexpected turbulence. There are several emergency exits on this aircraft.
We have N1
To familiarize
rotation.
yourself with the emergency exits on this aircraft, please refer to the safety card in the seat back pocket in front of you. In some cases, your nearest exit might be behind you. If we need to evacuate the aircraft, there is lighting on the floor to guide you towards the exit. In the event of a deep compression, an oxygen mask will drop in front of you. To start the flow of oxygen, pull the mask towards you. Place it firmly over your nose and mouth, secure the elastic
rather
band
dark
behind
here.
the head, tighten the straps if necessary, and breathe normally. Although the bag does not inflate, oxygen is flowing to the mask. If you are traveling with a child or someone who requires assistance,
There's the
secure
bus
your
is
mask
kicking
on
on.
first and then assist others. Keep your mask on until a member of the crew advises you it is safe to remove it. In the unlikely event of a water landing, a life vest is located in a pouch under your seat or between the armrests. When instructed to do so, open the plastic pouch and remove the vest. Slip it over your head. Wrap the straps around your waist and buckle at the front.
It's not bad.
Strap it tight.
Engine 1
Replace
or
the
engine
vest
2 is
firmly
available
on the
starting engine
portal
number 1.
connecting the aircraft. If it doesn't inflate automatically, you may blow into the mouthpiece for manual inflation. This vest is equipped with a whistle and a light.
Pushback complete. Set parking brakes, please.
Brake set.
Parking brake set.
Roger. Okay, tow bar is disconnected and the equipment is clear.
Thanks, and you can disconnect and go to hand signals.
Thanks. Have a good flight. See you later.
30 left via Zulu, Whiskey and Kilo.
Alright, the tug is leaving.
Tampering with, disabling, or destroying the smoke detectors located in
I
the
find the
laboratory
drag bar on the
is
new
strictly
Navigraph
prohibited
charts
by
on the
law.
top and bottom
All this
are
information and more
extremely
can be found
small
in
and
the
hard
safety card
to
located in the seat back in front of you.
handle
Just
at
reading this
times.
and letting a cabin member know if you have any questions. Thank you for flying with us again, and we hope you enjoy your flight.
Alright, so engine 1 is coming up. Engine 1 is now available. Generators 1 and 2 are now on. Ignition mode selector to normal. Probe heats are auto. Engine anti-ice not required. Packs 1 and 2 are now on. Flaps 1 selected. Over to flight controls trim, and it's 0.4 up. That's the APU. Bleed air is now off. APU coming off. FCP is confirmed setup for departure. Engine instruments are checked, and everything looks good. Tiller is activated, nose lights coming on for taxi, and auto brake set to max. Now, how are we getting down there? It's going to be Zulu. Dubai area traffic skyways 5556 taxiing runway 30 left via Zulu Whiskey Kilo. Holding short at Kilo 13. Yeah, I think that's about as far as we have to go. Alright, so brakes are released. Let's taxi out.
Cabin is secure, ready for departure.
Thank you. We're going to kill the dome lights so we can get our night vision. I'll get a little bit of floodlight going there. Turn off the bottom ones.
Please note the cabin lights will be dimmed for departure and landing. If you require additional lighting, there is a reading light on the panel above you.
Alright. Spoilers are armed. And we'll do our TO config. We're all set up. So Whiskey is just after the end of the building here. That's the Air France A310 that just landed. I've set it up to use the factory livery as default if I don't have the livery installed. I've got a few of them. Oh, by the way, if you are going to be flying the A310 in a specific livery, let me know so I can install them. I've got the ones...
Dubai traffic, I fly 589er4, stand Foxtrot 22, pushing back, facing southeast.
I've got the ones Kevin are going to be using, and I'm flying the British Caledonia one. So if you want to set it up for me, that's great. So just after here we should get the loop up. And we'll take this and we'll go up to Zulu.
Right traffic, WF464, taxiing to runway 30 left via Zulu and to Zulu, sorry, to Kilo 0.
See Oki ahead of us there. So Talia's pushing back and Nick's taxiing. Nick's going to a shorter one. He's done a little bit more of a shorter intersection takeoff. Dubai is a big place, as you can see. Nobody inbound at the moment. That's Kilo 9 we just went past.
Dubai traffic mileage 624, line up and take off, runway 30 left.
So Kilo 10 and 11. I know it says don't go down here, but I'm not going to do the loop around. This is 12, and then 13 is the next one where I'll be pulled out. So they've closed this section of the taxiways. We're going to do a hard turnaround here and stop at the old short line. There we go. So back inside, parking brake is on. So pre-departure checks, V speeds are correct, 140, 143, FMC is done, nav data is entered, radios are set. And turn on our takeoff lights, runway turn-off lights are on, nose light is to take off, strobe lights are on, transponder should have been on, it's on now, TCAS is on. Looks like Oki's climbing out, and clock and runway are identified. Dubai area traffic, skyways 5556, taking position, runway 30 left. Alright, brakes off.
Dubai traffic, iFly 58904, taxiing via Kilo to hold short for 31 left, Dubai.
There's Oki up in the air. Just letting them get a little bit of distance. Be interesting to see what the arrival is like, if it's all smoked in from whatever fires they have there. Not too worried about runway length. It's almost 15,000 feet, over 14,500, so we have plenty of room. Alright, so we are up and ready to go. We're going to change my charts here. And we are going to switch over to our, well, we'll go to our departure chart. There we go. Bring it up a little bit, and there's the course we're taking. We will go to night charts, and he's off. Dubai area traffic, skyways 5556, rolling, runway 30 left on the Enviro 1 Foxtrot departure. Alright, engine's coming up to 40%. Clock is running. Brakes released. Takeoff power set, Manflex SRS runway.
Traffic, jump jet 464, line up, 3 left.
It's 100 knots. V1 rotate. Positive rate, gear up. Speed brakes disarmed. Autopilot engaged. Acceleration altitude and thrust climb is set. First restriction, we have a 180 knot speed restriction. You can see here. And then it's a 190, then I think a 220 as we come around. Restrictions are showing. Of course, if we come down to our flight plan here, you can see the restrictions. Put the constraints on here as well. There's 180 knots here. It'll kick up now to 190 for the next one, and then 220 for the next one. Everything is looking good. There's a 190, it's now gone up. We'll leave the flaps out till we go to 220. Turn these down a little bit so they're not as glaring. I think that's okay over there. So that's our 190 knot. So now we're switching over. We're accelerating. So we're through S speed, so flaps retract, speed checked. Heading to 220 knots. Going to set our climb to our cruise altitude of 370 now. There we go, 370 set. This is the portion where we fly up here along the coast, just off the coast. It's at about 10, 12 miles or so, and then we turn inbound. So now the restrictions are a bunch of must be aboves, which is not going to be a problem for this aircraft. You see above 4,000, 5,000, 7, 10, 11 as the chart goes on, but we're climbing out very well. So we're through transition altitude, so we're going to go to standard pressure. And we're up to 250 knots, and we're through 10,000 feet.
Ladies and gentlemen,
So
we are now
lights will
passing
come
through
off.
10,000 feet. You can now turn on your larger portable electronic devices. As a reminder, please keep your seatbelt fastened while you are seated and do not congregate in the galleys or near the lavatories. This aircraft is equipped with onboard Wi-Fi. You will be required to pay a small fee if you wish to access it. We do offer complimentary in-flight TV thanks to our partners.
So looks good. There's, see if we can see everybody here. Oki's out that way. There's me, there's Nick, and I'm assuming that's Talia down there at the airport. Everything's looking good. And we're accelerating up to our higher speed, above 10,000 feet. Oh, you're starting your taxi now. Well, we can see you down there. Well, we could anyway. We can see your lights. We're a bit out of range now. But yeah, Oki's almost halfway across the peninsula already. He got a good start. Alright, so let's get our distance in there. See our top of climb. Take it up to 160 miles. And we're about a 950 mile trip here. So for those just joining us in this series, we're doing a around the world flight using these shorter haul aircraft. So we're doing shorter distances, and these are going to take us via some airports we've never been to before, which is going to be nice, and we'll be able to see a whole bunch of new places and new countries. You might as well. At least it'll save you some taxi time, Talia. So we're currently in the Middle East. Well, we're leaving the Middle East and heading to India, and then we're going to work our way down through Southeast Asia, upwards to Japan, Korea, Hong Kong. We'll work our way up around the Northern Pacific, down through the Canada and the US and everything, but it's a whole bunch of legs we're doing, so lots of chances to see the world. And I'll do my little plug here. If you want to join in and fly along with us, you're more than welcome. Come over to the Discord, links are in the description below, and I'll set it up in the chat so that it pops up. At least in the YouTube chat anyway. You can get all the information about all the flights. Our world tour is on Mondays, and it's on VATSim, and I'm flying the Phoenix A320 for it. Fridays, we're currently flying with Aurora and the 737-700s from PMDG, and that's based out of Vancouver. We're doing a lot of flights over there. Following that, we'll be flying the 737, I believe it's the 800 for Satan, our newest subsidiary, and that's based out of the States. We'll be doing some flights with them. So a lot of North America flying on Fridays. Saturdays are, and that's VATSim as well. Saturdays, when I'm available, or Sundays, depending which day, become our cargo flights and other interesting flights like that. So currently flying the 737 freighter in Europe out of Stansted, which is our cargo base. And then on Wednesdays, it's we switch over to multiplayer, a little bit more relaxed, and usually VFR flying. And we're currently doing a tour of Scotland, and I'm flying a mid-century Beech 18 twin-engine, piston-powered airplane as we fly low, nice weather, and just see the sights that the sim has to offer. So if you want to come and join in, like I said, you're more than welcome. You can fly along like Oki, Nick, and Talia are doing today, and it's always good fun. If you're not comfortable with VATSim, we'll try that. We can help you get to a position where you can do it. And on legs like this, where we're flying over here live time and it's like almost midnight, there's not a lot of ATC on, so you get on the system, you can get used to using it and broadcasting your location and stuff, and maybe get the odd controller, but it's not going to be too busy even if there are controllers with dozens or hundreds of aircraft, so it's a good way to get into it. Anyway, we're coming up for, we're past 22,000 feet, so I think it's time to sit back and relax. I know the crew are prepping the drinks cart and getting the galley ready for a very late dinner as we head off on this night flight over to India. I'm going to sit back, relax, enjoy. I'll give you a view out I guess the left side of the airplane, because that's where we'll start to see land first. And you'll be able to sit back and enjoy. It is a lot of fun. I really enjoy these flights. And I'll be playing around with the A310 over the next little while, and that's going to turn into a bit of our long-haul aircraft once I get a bit of a handle on it. I've printed out the flows and checklists, and I've got to start running through it. Like I said, I'll be flying to British Caledonia. If you're going to be flying the A310 with us on VATSim, let me know, and it will help me set up the model matching so I can actually see what you're going to be flying. Anyway, I'm going to go off mic for a while. I'll be in the chat, but I'll get some entertainment set up for you, and then I'll be back to brief the arrival. Talk to you soon.
How about a kiss for your new prince, princess?
Very quiet. Very quiet. There's your bathroom, Liz. I see we have the same bathroom. I think I'd better introduce myself. I'm Vera Claythorne, Mrs. Owen's secretary.
Oh, my name is Emily Brent.
Is there anything you want, miss? Well, I'd like to see Mrs. Owen. I'm Mrs. Owen's new secretary. I expect you know that. No, miss.
I don't know anything. Just a list of the ladies and gentlemen who are invited for the weekend.
Didn't Mrs. Owen mention me?
I haven't seen Mrs. Owen yet. We only came here a few days ago.
This is a large house with staff over here.
Just me and Rogers, miss.
Does Mr. Owen know we've arrived?
He's not here yet, sir. Where's Mrs. Owen?
Oh, they were delayed in London, sir. I got a letter. They'll be here for dinner. 8 o'clock.
We tell the story in Ireland about the 2 Englishmen who were cast away on a desert island for 3 years and never spoke to each other because they hadn't been introduced.
I'm not English. My name is Prince Nikita Starlov. Call me Nicky.
Well, that breaks the ice, gentlemen. I'm Judge Quincannon.
How do you do, sir? I'm, Dr. Armstrong.
My name's Lombard. Philip Lombard. I'm General Mandrake.
Sir John Mandrake, isn't it, General? Some years ago, I was called in consultation. Your wife was ill.
My wife is dead, son.
If you gentlemen will be good enough to follow me, I will show you to your rooms.
I'm afraid I didn't catch your name.
Bloor.
Bloor.
William Henry Bloor.
Oh, Philip Lombard.
I'm afraid you got the wrong bag.
You're very observing, Mr. Bloor. CM, Charles Morley, an old friend of mine. I like his taste. I even bought him his clothes.
Oh, excuse me, Doctor. I thought this was a closet. It seems we're sharing a bathroom.
Oh, I didn't know.
The only time I regret being a bachelor is when I have to dress for dinner.
Let me help you.
Thank you.
Do you know this part of the English coast?
No, I can't say I do.
Something magical about an island.
Yeah, like a little world of its own.
How would you like to spend your last days here?
Oh, no thanks. I think a weekend will be enough.
We all build islands in imagination. Represents escape. Half of my patients are sick because they're trying to escape reality.
Well, what's your answer?
I tell them fairy tales. I build up islands of imagined security.
Don't you believe in medicine, Doctor?
Do you believe in justice, Judge?
Mr. Bloor? Yes? The bathroom's yours.
Moments, we'll be starting our in-flight service. We'll be serving complimentary drinks and snacks. Please look in the seat back for our list of complimentary and premium drinks. Premium drinks are available for
Done enough of them.
No, credit card.
Yeah.
Don't stand there gawking. Get them up.
Did you wash the floor this morning?
Do you suppose I have time for everything? It's not right to go inviting a house full of guests.
I'll talk to Mr. Owen when he comes.
You tell him we're quitting. The agency didn't tell us the house was so big, so lonely.
You knew it was an island.
Huh, with only one house. Makes me nervous. Here! What they don't know won't hurt them.
Everyone has to eat a pick of dirt before he dies.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I propose a toast to our gracious hostess, Mrs. Owen. Doctor, I saw you. You drank water. It's bad luck.
Water never hurt anyone, sir. Especially in my profession.
Don't forget the old proverb, Doctor. Never trust a man who doesn't drink.
Sounds like the Bible. Great book. And now I give you our charming host, Mr. Owen. Jolly good stuff. And I hope that will conclude all possible toasts. Tell me, Miss Claypool, why do they call this place Indian Island?
I don't know.
Excuse me, sir. The boatman told me it's because it's shaped like the head of an Indian.
Oh, that accounts for the little Indians. Indians! We're not out of clothes, sir. I drink to the Indians, each little Indian individual. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 little Indians.
10 little Indians. It's like the nursery rhyme. 10 little Indian boys went out to dine. One choked his little self, and then there were 9.
Oh, poor little fellow. Here's to him. What happened to the others?
9 little Indian boys sat up very late. One overslept himself, and then there were 8.
Well, what happened?
You'll find the rhymes on the piano. Stolen seems to be fond of little Indians.
8 little Indian boys traveling in Devon. One said he'd stay right there, and then there were 7 little Indian boys chopping up some sticks. Till one chopped himself in half, and then there were 6. 6 little Indians playing with a hive. Bumblebees hung one of them. Then there were 5 little Indian boys going in for law. Now one got in chancery, and then there were 4 little Indian boys going out to sea. A red herring swallowed one, and then there were 3 little Indian boys walking in the snow. A big bear hugged one, and then there were 2.
The place for nursery rhymes is in the nursery.
Don't worry, Judge. He's down to the last Indian.
Little Indian boys sitting in the sun. One got all frizzled up, and then there was 1 One little Indian boy left all alone. So he went and hanged himself, and then none. Silence, please. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your host, Mr. Owen, speaking. You are charged with the following crimes. General Sir John Mandrake, that you did deliberately send your wife's lover, Lieutenant Arthur Macefield, to his death. Emily Brent, that you did cause and bring about the death of your young nephew, Peter Brent. Dr. Edward G. Armstrong, that through uncontrolled drunkenness you did kill Mrs. Mary Cleese. Prince Nikita Stala, that you were guilty of the murder of Fred and Lucy Marlowe. Vera Claythorne, that you did murder your sister's fiancé, Richard Barclay. Judge Francis J. Quintanar, that you were responsible for the death by hanging of one Edward Seaton. Philip Lombard, that you were guilty of the death of 21 men, members of an East African tribe. William H. Bloor, that by perjuring your testimony, you did bring about the death of James Landor, Thomas and Ethel Rogers, that you brought about the death of your invalid employer, Mrs. Jennifer Brady. Prisoners at the Bar of Justice, have you anything to say in your defense? Silence, please. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your host, Mr. What's going on here? What kind of a practical joke is this?
It's on the record.
An outrageous lie.
It's called Swan Song. Yes.
I did, sir. I didn't know what it was. On my oath, I didn't know. I was just obeying orders, sir. That's all. Whose orders? Mr. Owen?
Now, let's get this quite clear. Mr. Owen's orders were what exactly?
To put the record on at 9 o'clock. It was sealed up. I thought it was just a piece of music. It's the truth, sir. I haven't seen Mr. Owen. I was telling my wife.
I tell you we shouldn't have come here! I want to get away! I won't touch that money!
Shut up! First thing you do, Rogers, is to get your wife to bed.
May I have your attention, please? This letter to Rogers is signed by Mr. U.N. Owen. I must confess I don't know Mr. Owen personally. What kind of a man is he? Who knows?
You all come to a house, you don't know the host.
What about yourself, Your Highness?
Oh, with me it's different. I am a professional guest.
I knew we shouldn't have come here.
Quiet, Ethel.
I knew somebody would find out about it someday. I told you.
Shut up, I tell you. She's quite out of her head, Doctor.
Hysteria induced by shock. Give me this sedative. 10 drops and half a glass of water.
Yes, sir.
She doesn't sleep, repeat the dose in 2 hours.
Oh, I hope she'll sleep, Doctor.
Dr. Armstrong, we've taken all the evidence except your own. What's your reason for being here?
Well, quite frankly, I came here professionally. I received a letter from Mr. Owen asking me to come here and spend the weekend and pretend to be a guest so that I might examine his wife who had refused to see a doctor.
I'll summarize our findings. We've all received letters from old, trusted friends inviting us to spend the weekend here as guests of their friends, the Owens. Miss Claythorne was employed through an agency and told to report to Mrs. Owen. This letter to Mr. Lombard is the only one directed from Mr. Owen. Very peculiar. I might even call it threatening. What do you say?
I'd say that the only person whose presence here hasn't been explained is that gentleman. Well, Your Honor, you know, he didn't concede any longer. I'm here to do a job. I was hired. By whom? This man Owen. You saw him? No. He closed a fat money order with that. Told me to join the house party and pose as one of the guests. I run a detective agency in Plymouth. I got me credentials.
Here, Judge. All of these letters refer to our host as U.M. Owen. U.M. Owen. Unknown.
Yeah, Mr. Unknown is not only attached us here under false pretenses, but he's taking the trouble to find out a great deal about us all.
Now come life. Stronger.
Not me.
Listen, my friends. The accusation is true. Now I remember. A year ago, 2 people in the road. I was driving fast.
What happened?
They took my license away.
What about the 2 people?
I ran over them. Beastly bad luck.
I'm still not clear as to the purpose of our unknown host in getting us to assemble here.
In my opinion, this person, whoever he may be, is not of normal mind. He may be dangerous.
I think it would be well for us all to leave this island immediately.
I quite agree, sir. Rogers, how soon can we get the boat from the mainland?
I can't, sir. There's no telephone. The boat only comes twice a week, sir. It won't come again till Monday.
And this is only Friday. You've no boat here?
No, sir.
Why do you want to leave, my friend? Why don't we get to the bottom of this mystery? It's wonderful. Hurry!
Our time of life, sir, we've no desire for thrills, as you call them.
Your legal mind has lost its taste for adventure. I am all for crime, Your Honor. May I propose a toast? Here is to crime.
Perfectly disgusting. Drink like an animal.
Huh? What'd you say?
He's not moving.
Just plain drunk.
Just plain dead.
What'd the doctor say? What?
What are you looking at, Roger? It's broken, sir. You look more than that to report to the owner of this house.
But Mr. Owen isn't the owner, sir. He's only leased it.
Then you know more than you told us. Come, Rogers. I'm quite sure that there's no one else on this island.
I swear to it.
I believe you, Rogers. But I'm afraid your story will question the police. Don't touch it.
I thought you'd gone to bed, Mr. Paul.
In our profession, Doctor, we don't always do what we appear to do. Perhaps it's the same in yours.
Why don't you want me to touch that glass?
I thought it'd be inadvisable for you to have your fingerprints on it. Smell it.
lethal solution.
Suicide?
That, I believe, comes under your profession, sir.
Doctor Armstrong. Dr. Armstrong.
What is it, Rogers?
It's the wife, sir. She doesn't look right to me.
Go ahead, I'll follow you.
Good morning, Miss Brent. I hope you slept better than I did.
I slept very well, thank you. I have nothing on my conscience.
Good morning, General.
Good morning. General Mandrake.
Yes, Juliet? Oh, forgive me, young lady. I was thinking of my wife.
Good morning, Miss Claythorne. What about breakfast? Mind if I sit down like this? Morning, Judge. Morning, Miss Brent. Why, is something worrying you?
I don't understand.
A lot of things I don't understand, sir.
These little figures. How many were there last night? 10.
Yeah.
Rogers found one broken after what happened? And now, how many?
8.
Only 8. That's what I counted.
Oh, let Mr. Owen worry about it. They're his Indians. What about breakfast?
I'm afraid you'll have to go without breakfast. Mrs. Rogers died in her sleep.
What is Raj?
Ow. Heart failure?
Heart certainly failed to beat. What caused it to fail, I cannot say.
Conscience.
Oh, conscience, my eye. What about her husband? He's scared to death. I feel his wife a talker.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry there's no breakfast prepared, but you see, my wife's
All right, Rogers. Here.
Well, as right as me,
But I thought you told us he was dead.
his wife.
Eh?
His
Wife.
Wife? I don't think a man would ever kill his wife, no matter how guilty she was.
We get to flee when no man.
2 accidental deaths in 12 hours. I don't believe it.
All right. What do you say, Judge?
How does the ride go, Miss Claythorne? 10 little Indians.
One choked his little self, and there were 9.
Go on.
One overslept himself, and there were 8.
There are 8 people on this island now.
Come, bud. I'll be ready in a minute.
Take your time. You know, I got it.
Got what?
There's one thing this fellow always forgot. His arm is just a bare rock. We'll catch that rabid maniac. You
mean Rogers was lying?
Why not?
Enough. That's why I think he's telling the truth. Lunatic like Owen could have found a hiding place before Rogers arrived here.
It doesn't matter if Rogers is lying or not. You agree that Mr. Owen and squad is hiding, don't you? It'll certainly be dangerous. We ought to be armed.
Yeah, it's too bad we're not allowed to carry firearms in England. It puts the normal citizen at a great disadvantage.
You mean you haven't any weapon?
You know, Flo, it's strange, but I came to the same conclusion you did. Mr. Owen is hiding. Maybe inside this house.
Yeah, whoever the cop is. If he wants to be one, we're one in his house. You never know what's
I have a feeling I'm being watched. Secretly.
What do you see?
I thought I heard a strange voice. Gentlemen, I have come to the conclusion that the invisible Mr. Owen is hiding somewhere on this island.
Extraordinary. I was looking for you to tell you the same thing.
I think so.
Me too. We've all come to the same opinion. We must find this place of concealment immediately.
So long as there is a lunatic at large, we are in mortal danger.
For a mouse? So are we.
What I'd like to know is whether we're the cat or the mouse. Nobody in the general's room, not even the general. What about the old boy?
I don't know. I don't think he even knows where he is himself.
Oh. Nothing in there but the Russian. I keep hearing that song he was singing last night just before he popped off.
That certainly was his swan song.
One thing is certain, he isn't inside, therefore he must be outside.
Brilliant thinking, Lord.
It's no use watching for the boat. Won't come till Monday.
No boat will ever come, Juliet. We're here forever. What made you love him, Juliet?
The job.
Oh. Forgive me, my child. You don't understand.
Nobody. Not a living thing. Not even a hiding place.
Not even a seagull could hide down there.
I don't understand it.
Maybe we've been wrong. Built up a nightmare out of imagination.
2 people dead isn't imagination.
The Russian may have committed suicide.
And Mrs. Rogers?
Well, you didn't give her an overdose last night, did you?
Doctors can't afford to make mistakes of that kind. We cannot blunder as detectives sometimes do.
Wouldn't be your first mistake if that gramophone record is to be believed. Gentlemen, this is no time for quarreling.
Let's face it, we're in a trap.
You shouldn't forget the 10 little Indians on the dinner table.
That's right. Mr. Owen's hand is plain to see.
Yes, but where the devil is Mr. Owen himself?
Mr. Owen is on this island. He'll catch his death of cold.
That's supposed to be a joke. I don't see the point.
All we have to do is to keep quiet and we'll hear him sneeze.
I'm sorry. It's only cold meat and salad. I did the best I could.
Oh, yes. Roger. Run. You called General Mandrake?
I looked in his room, miss, but he's not there.
Didn't you come in the house?
I didn't see him, Doctor.
Last time I saw him, he was moving around on the beach.
Seemed kind of normal.
I know where he is.
You stay here, Miss Basil.
You'd say the General was behaving very strangely.
Like a man out of his mind.
In other words, a lunatic. Righto, the old boy's balmy.
From the gods destroy their thirst to make man.
Well, aren't we looking for a lunatic?
He said no boat will ever come.
Then he knows something. Maybe he's not as crazy as we think he is.
Doctor, you better come with me. Don't wait for us. And don't wait for the general any longer.
Poison gas could mean suicide. An overdose of sedative might have been an accident. But this instrument, which you saw me remove from the back of the third victim, means only one thing. Murder.
For an act of love. My dear lady, in my experience of ill-doing, Providence leaves the work of punishment to us mortals. Evidently, Mr. O believes we're guilty of certain crimes which the law cannot touch, and he's appointed himself to execute justice.
That is why he has enticed us to this island.
There's no one on this island, I tell you, no one.
Dr. Armstrong. What is it, man?
There's another little Indian figure missing.
That accounts for the general.
I was expecting that. You just said there's no one on this island. In the sense you mean, no. Nevertheless, I'm now certain that Mr. Owen is here.
How can he be here?
I don't believe in the invisible man.
He's not invisible. Mr. Owen could only come to this island in one way. It's perfectly clear. Mr. Owen is one of us.
That.
I'm just studying Mr. Owen's little scheme.
Maybe you know how the general was killed.
My dear Blore, can't you read? 8 little Indian boys traveling in Devon. One said he'd stay there. Then there was 7. The old soldier stayed here, didn't he?
Am I disturbing your little game?
Not at all, Blore.
Nothing clears the mind like a game of precision.
What game are you playing, Judge?
We've come to the conclusion, the doctor and I, that this whole story is a game of the mind. There we are. 8 of us came to this island. The Rogers were waiting for us.
Don't forget, waiting for us.
One of the 10 is Mr. O.
We agree on that.
Out of all of us, 3 persons are definitely clear.
Who? The dead ones.
Our Russian friend, Mrs. Rogers, and the general. 7 opinions left.
6. One is bogus.
Correct, sir. One of us is Mr. Owen.
Which one?
Where's your alibi?
I'm not like you, Mr. Blore. I'm a well-known professional man.
I did, Doctor. That proves less than nothing. I, too, am a well-known person. But doctors have gone mad before now. Judges have gone mad. So have policemen. And, may I say, explorers, Mr. Lombard.
You may.
Why do you leave Miss Claythorne out?
We don't.
So you, my dear lady.
I quite appreciate that nobody can be exonerated without proof.
What about Rogers? That's what I'm thinking. What do we know about him? He put that record on the gramophone, didn't he?
That's a fact. How do we know Rogers didn't leave his house and pretend to be the butler?
Oh, no. Bad psychology. You can rule Rogers out definitely. I don't see why. Look at the shape of his head. He hasn't the brains for it.
And don't forget there's something else, sir. My wife was one of the victims.
In my time, Rogers, I've had several husbands before me guilty of the murder of the wives.
Well, if you put it that way, sir, they do sometimes drive a man crazy.
We must suspect each and every one among us.
Now, I warn everybody to be on his guard. If not, we shall all go the same way. And Mr. Owen will very soon be alone on this island.
E flat, Miss Claythorne. Aren't you afraid the others will think you're playing inappropriate?
Can't stand silence. I have to do something.
It's any comfort to you. There's one person who doesn't suspect you.
Thank you.
Aren't you going to return the compliment?
I haven't made up my mind about you, Mr. Monroe.
Whom do you suspect?
One there is the fire.
I think you're wrong.
Well, who then?
A man who believes in punishing crimes. His brain might snap. They'd want to be an executioner after having been a judge.
Rogers, I'd like to ask you a few questions. Did you prepare a nice dinner?
Just cold meat, sir.
I see now. Sure you do your best, Rogers. Is there plenty of food for the weekend?
Oh, yes, sir. Everything was provided for. Oh, Mr. Blow, may I ask you a question?
Of course, my dear fellow.
How many will you be for dinner tonight?
Right. Oh, I see what you mean.
Don't forget your boat, Rogers. In a case like this, a secret boat is the only way to bring out into the open what we're all thinking.
No, never touch it, no. But, under the circumstances.
Now, who do we suspect to be Mr. Owen? Mr. Lombard, one vote. Mr. Blow, one vote. Dr. Armstrong, one vote. Rogers, one vote. Miss Brent, one vote. I see I haven't been neglected. One vote. Another vote for you, Rogers. You win.
You mean, sir, that I am being accused?
Well, it's not precisely a majority, but you have the most votes.
They're saying it's me because I'm only a butler. You said I didn't have the brains to do it.
I didn't vote for you, Rogers.
Well, who did then?
You didn't drink the cocktails you just served.
You think I poisoned those cocktails? I'll show you, sir. picking on an innocent man. I can't touch even a drop of alcohol. And if that's what you think of me, I'm not going to serve any dinner.
Don't look so offended, Rogers.
If it had been anybody but you, sir.
I'm sorry, Rogers, but how do I know you didn't vote for me?
I didn't, Your Honor. I voted for... Well, time will tell.
After all, Roger, nobody in this house is above suspicion.
Never in my life have I been accused of any crime, sir.
What about that gramophone record?
What about it?
That woman you worked for, she left you some money, didn't she? Let's not stand on her dignity, Rogers. After all, she was sick. Didn't you, shorten her suffering in this world? With the complicity, of course, of poor Mrs. Rogers.
I'm not going to argue. But what makes you think I would kill anybody who wasn't going to leave me any money?
Thank you.
Obviously, we can't sit up all night like this. I'm going to retire. Good night. If you don't mind, I'll say good night, too. If you don't mind, Miss Brentford, I'd rather go upstairs alone. May I remind you, Miss Brentford, I'm the only one whose name wasn't mentioned in the voting. That's what I mean. I find that fact most peculiar.
I know Miss Brentford's mind if there's a third person. Not so fast, Mr. Lombard. I'll go with you. The more the merrier. And safer.
Warm in here, isn't it?
Yeah, quite well.
And, lonely.
Yeah, quite lonely, quite lonely.
Rogers! Yes, sir?
Oh, would you mind keeping us company for a while?
Anything you wish, sir.
Don't put any water in.
I shan't, sir.
Good night, Miss Claythorne. Don't forget to lock your door.
You cannot lock out the devil.
There's another one who's balmy. So it'll end with the old lot going that way. I don't fancy you will, Lord. No. I'll take a lot to send me off my head.
I don't think you'll be going that way either.
I feel quite sane at the moment. Thank you. Have you told him?
Yes, sir. I know the jury's decision. You'd feel safer if I didn't stay inside the house tonight. Well, then, I shall sleep in the woodshed. And now, if you'll excuse me, good night.
I'll lock it behind him.
That's not enough, Mr. Cole. Still 7. Lock that door, please. Put the key there. We'll have no more Indian tricks tonight. Lock it, Mr. Cole.
No way. Now no one can get in there but you. Oh, I see. Oh, but who's gonna keep it?
Roger. Open up, Roger.
Keep away from that door.
It's me, Lombard. Open up.
You take me for a fool, Mr. Lombard.
Don't be silly, Roger.
Don't be silly yourself, sir.
This is Judge Quintanas.
You know my voice, Rogers. Dr. Armstrong.
This is door, Rogers.
Open the door.
At a time like this, I wouldn't open the door even if it was Santa Claus.
We just want to give you a key.
What for?
Never mind, you idiot.
Hurry up, it's raining.
Shove it under the door, sir.
Good night, Roger. Keep your door locked.
Don't worry about me, sir.
Be careful, Judge. Oh, I shall. You know, the common cold kills more people than... Never mind.
I need hardly advise you to lock your doors.
And put a chair under the handle. There are ways of turning locks from the outside.
And if it should turn out that one of you is Mr. Owen, just remember, I'm a very light sleeper. Good night.
Good night, gentlemen.
May we all meet safely in the morning.
Good night.
Good night.
Not here.
Grasp packed very quickly, Blower.
What's wrong, Mr. Owen?
Miss Brent's missing.
I knocked at all your doors. She was the only one who didn't answer.
What's wrong with that? It's late.
Yes, we all of us slept. I heard her get up. She must have gone upstairs.
I knocked that door last night.
Whoa. Look. Good morning. Oh, such a pretty pattern. I thought I'd like to copy for a new shawl.
Was that door locked when you went out?
Oh, yes, I opened it.
Good morning, mister. I, too, like to walk before breakfast, but I wouldn't have gone out alone.
I feel perfectly safe when I'm alone. Look.
I share your feeling. But did you know that Rogers was outside?
Poor man. I hope he didn't catch cold.
What's that?
Someone's knocking.
Kitchen door. Rogers, of course, he wants to get in.
I said we could all about breakfast.
Where is he? Somebody was knocking. Rogers! Rogers! It's not there.
Rogers!
Know what I think? We got our man. It's Rogers.
It fits the psychological pattern. His behavior last night was distinctly abnormal.
Psychological pattern, my eye. I go by facts. He was officially accused. Fact. He got drunk. He wouldn't open the door to the woodshed. Fact.
Realizing this morning that he'd gone to the end of his rope, he disappears.
Fact.
Another fact you haven't mentioned about Rogers.
dead.
The murder was fastidious. He cleaned this blade after striking down his victim. Obviously, he crept up behind, swung this chopper, and brought it down, splitting the cranium.
7 little Indian boys chopping up sticks. One chopped himself in half. Then there were 6.
Would it have needed much strength to strike the blow?
Well, a woman could have done it, if that's what you mean.
Miss Claiborne was locked in her room, Doctor. That's what you mean.
We were all in our room. Except...
No breakfast yet?
No.
I had a butler like Rogers. I'd soon get rid of him.
Wait, we've forgotten something.
What?
The dining room. Still out. Where's the key?
We found it in Roger's pocket.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Another one missing?
But the door was locked.
I get it.
No, I don't.
Did you ever hear of a bee sting being fatal?
No. Why?
6 little Indian boys playing with a hive. Bumblebee stung one, and then there were 5.
Very stupid. You're the only servant in the house. Now we don't even know where to find the mouse.
Watch out for a bee.
I'll be careful of that young man. I mean to, Miss Brent. I'm careful of everyone. A clear conscience is the best art. This island is an image of life. Innocence has to live surrounded by criminals. That sounds like Mr. Owen talking. I see nothing wrong with his idea of punishing the guilty. What about his accusations against you? I wonder if these eggs are fresh. What about it, Miss Brent? Your young nephew, aren't you to blame for his death? Family gossip, Miss Claiborne. My sister's boy had bad blood, from his father's side, of course. Whipping did no good. Naturally, I had to have him placed in the reformatory. Do hope these eggs aren't. What happened to the boy? Oh, I never saw him again. He added to his many sins by hanging himself.
I got it. I know took the last Indian.
Who?
Rogers.
He had the key to this room. Back. He sneaks in and takes the little Indian, locks the door again, goes back to the woodshed where he chops some sticks, back, and then...
And then? He takes the chopper and splits his own cranium, as the doctor would say.
Back. I'd like to see you do that to yourself, Laura. It'll take practice.
Anyone inside the house could leave without being noticed. True, Miss Brent? Perfectly true. The murderer meets Rogers outside and kills him. He then takes the key from his victim's pocket, and you know the rest. Yes, but the key was still in Rogers' pocket. Of course. The murderer puts the key back in Rogers' pocket and goes to bed again. All goes for an innocent walk for breakfast. Sorry, Miss Brent.
Anyone have more tea?
Lombard. Lombard.
Yes, Flo?
What you doing here?
You called me, didn't you?
Yes. Oh, yeah. I ain't saying, but don't you think the old judge knows too much? Describing every move. You think he'd been at the scene of the crime?
My dear boy, in my opinion, you haven't a chance.
What is that?
Lack of imagination. A criminal with a brain like you and Owen can think rings around you anytime he wants to.
No man ever got the better of me. Yet.
How about a woman?
Yes, yes. One should never trust a woman. She's clearly a meaning to myself. I don't know why I didn't see it before.
She was very strange in the kitchen this morning.
Nor behaved strangely. But I find no evidence. She left no clue. But she did.
What about this, eh?
No sane person would think of using semen as a pattern for a show.
She tried to throw us off the track. It's her. I'll stake my life it's her.
Wait, no. Let Miss Claythorne call her. She'd be less suspicious.
Miss Brand! Miss Brand! Brand.
It's no use, Miss Greenwood. She'll not answer.
The bee. Look at the bee.
Just an ordinary bee, Miss Claythorne.
A small mark on the neck.
Here's your fee, Doctor. What poison did he inject?
I can only guess. She must have died immediately.
But the bee. That bee in her room.
That's our murderer's artistic touch. He likes to stick to his blasted nursery jinx. Mad. We're all mad.
I'm not, Mr. Number. I still have my reasoning powers. There are 5 of us left. One of us murdered. The rest of us are defenseless.
Defenseless? How do we know one of us hasn't got a revolver?
Good point, though. How do we know?
Well, I haven't got one. Jim, to get to the door.
How about you, Doctor?
Search me, gentlemen, search me.
Miss Claythorne?
I wish I had.
Quite right, Miss Claythorne. It's an unfortunate oversight. But never be careless when visiting a place one doesn't know.
Why didn't you tell us you had a revolver?
Nobody asked me. Aren't you wasting your time?
I know what it is.
John, you said just now one of us. If I were you, I wouldn't let the door get in that car.
It's not here.
Look again, Flo. It's got to be there. Look at his pocket.
No, take him off. We're taking him off.
Here. What did you do with it?
What did you do with it?
Where is it?
The one who can answer that question is obviously not going to speak.
Time like this.
Game of the mind or game of the mind.
You know, the safest thing for you to do is to stay in your room. The door locked.
about yourself?
Oh, I wouldn't stay out here alone with any of the others.
Why not?
Don't you think it's strange that there's never a third person present when anything unpleasant occurs? Mr. Owen always manages to be alone. When a third person is present, nothing happens.
Doesn't that make you nervous? Out here with me alone?
But we're not alone. I asked Mr. Bloor to keep an eye on us. He's my third person.
Dog. Look, another misfortune.
What's wrong with the machinery? Batteries must be running down. You've got to keep every light in the house burning tonight. I'll go to the woodshed and see to it.
Leave it on, Doctor, leave it on.
Throw you off your game, would it, Miss Pickering?
You went away from the window and left me alone.
I got to go to the woodshed. You better go to your room and lock your door.
I shall.
Where's Miss Claypole?
I don't know.
Where's Bloor?
Went out of the woodshed.
Woodshed?
What's wrong, Doctor? See, you and I we are alone.
Lombard! Lombard! Come here! Don't leave us!
Where's Vera? Vera? Miss Claypole, answer me.
Don't come any closer.
Where is she?
Keep back!
Bloor, if you don't tell me, I swear I'll kill you.
If you make another move, I'll bang you.
No, Doctor, please. Give me a chance. If you are, Mr. Orr. For heaven's sake, tell me. I won't say a word to the others.
Don't torment me this way. If you want to kill the others, I won't interfere. I won't say a word. I'll even help you if you'll spare my life.
Look, I trust you. Don't you trust me?
Yes.
That's Maurice.
Don't come any closer!
Isn't your arm getting tired?
Don't worry about me.
Listen, if Miss Claypole is safe in her room, as you say, we're both behaving like idiots.
Don't get around me that way. I prefer being a living idiot.
Someone's coming.
Miss Claypole. I told you to stay locked in your room.
I'm looking for... Oh.
He's right, Vera. You shouldn't be so careless. Come on.
Stay here, both of you. Now I can do what I came out to do.
Do you know anything about electricity? Don't bother me.
I get it.
Stay where you are.
I shan't move an inch.
Neither will I. Till the light comes on.
Do you think it will?
Why not?
This is no accident. Someone wants this house to be dark tonight.
Who?
The one we fear. I did, Doctor. Made a mistake. This trick of putting out the lights clears two people. You and me. Now we can trust each other.
I see. Yes, the idea was to keep us clear of each other.
But now we can form an alliance, you and
And find the murderer.
I. We no longer have anything to conceal from each other, have we?
Just what I was thinking. Oh, I needed that.
Now we can tell each other the truth, the entire truth. Who's going to speak first? Very well. I shall begin. As you know, Mr. Owen claimed that I was responsible for the death of one Edward C. It's perfectly true. He was an innocent man on trial for his life. I had nothing against him. I wanted to ruin the reputation of his defending counsel, who lost the case, while his client lost his life. Doctor, tell us the truth. Your fate depends on it. I'm convinced of that.
The gramophone record did not lie. I operated on Mrs. Cleese while I was under the influence of... guilty I was, but of drinking, not of killing.
I don't see where this is getting us.
Sit down, Mr. Bloor. This is getting us to a very important conclusion. Isn't that right, Doctor?
If I were you, I would speak, Mr. Bloor.
I didn't kill anybody.
Well, listening.
This landlord chap was innocent, all right, but I was mixed up with the gang that was out to get him. On my testimony, he got sent up for life. That's all.
But he died in prison, didn't he?
Of course he did. How could I know that would happen? What about yourself, Mr. Lombard? What about those 21 poor natives in South Africa?
Don't get excited, Bloor. Mr. Lombard is unable to deny a thing.
Ah, that's the first thing you said I believe.
Are you leaving us, Miss Clayton? My dear child, you're trembling.
I'm so cold.
Would you like us to postpone this inquiry while we build the fire? That would mean going outside to get wood, as Rogers did. No, we'll wait while you get your coat.
Thank you.
Stay here, Mr. Lombard.
Nothing can happen to her if we all remain in this room.
Where have you been all this time?
I went to my room to get this candle.
Where have you been? I've been looking for my flashlight. Where is Bloor? Bloor, what the devil are you doing in my room?
Your room? No wonder I couldn't find anything.
Happened.
Somebody bumped into me.
Did you hear anything? Yeah, it sounded like a shot.
Not like somebody fell to me. You're jumpy, both of you. No.
Vera. Vera! Vera! What happened? You'll be frightened, dear. What happened?
He was in my room.
Who?
I felt... I don't know, something like a hand.
Who was it?
I don't know. My candles went out.
We'll soon find out.
Seaweed.
It felt like a cold hand. That's what Miss Clayton walked into. Who brought it in here?
Who brought it into the house?
Miss Brent.
Are you sure Miss Brent is...
Get to the doornail.
Where's the judge?
funny. I thought he came up to us.
So did I.
He was right behind me on the staircase.
Yes. I thought I bumped into him. But I heard that shot.
Shot? What'd I tell you?
What?
Why, the old folks knew too much. You say you heard a shot? Well, you could see he took a shot at us in the dark. You puddles like clay pigeons if we go downstairs.
There's one way to find out.
It's my own. It looks too easy. All right, Judge. Come outside. Don't think I can't see you.
He has been shot through the head.
Only one shot fired.
Who will be next? Another one proved innocent. Too late. He found the solution. That's why he had to be silenced.
Silenced by who?
By whom? Don't you remember?
One moment, Miss Paythorne. Just when the judge was about to question you, you came up here, presumably, to get your coat. True?
Yes.
You open that door. Wind blows out your candles, seaweed touches your face. You scream. Perfect, perfect. But considerable time elapses, and then we find you way down there. What made you run the wrong way?
She didn't know where she was going. She was hysterical.
But if Miss Claythorne had not screamed, we would still be in the dining room and the judge would be alive.
Now, wait a minute. Don't confuse things. One of you two pulled this trick and you're trying to pin it on Miss Claythorne.
You wait a minute. We know very well that the judge is on the point of important discovery.
How do we know what was in the judge's mind?
I do know. Took me to his confidence. Truth. Entire truth. Miss Claythorne, did you or did you not commit the crime of which the government accused you?
I'd rather not talk about it.
Ah, but you must. We've all confessed our little errors. All except you. Come now, my girl. You didn't really kill this rocket chap, did you?
Will you take my word if I tell you I didn't?
I'm afraid I will.
Then you have my word for it. And don't ask me any more questions.
Can't you see she's telling the truth?
That is precisely her mistake.
I don't see why.
You will. You will. The judge reasoned thus. Owen enticed us to this island to be punished for a past crime.
Right.
We three have admitted, shall I say, our guilt.
Right.
Therefore, we cannot be interested in the punishment of crime.
Right.
Conclusion. Owen is the one who has not committed any past crime.
I get it. What a wonderful brain. To think he couldn't save his own life.
Yes, but he saved ours.
Yes, of course, that's the important thing.
Do you understand now, Mr. Lombard?
Oh, it's great, convincing, mathematical deduction. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, no. Not you either, Floor.
Now, nobody has it.
That's an excellent arrangement.
Now we can all sleep.
Turn in, gentlemen.
Good night, gentlemen.
Doctor, I find one flaw in your theory. I could destroy it in 4 words. Want to hear them? Suppose I said, I am Mr. Owen.
It would be most interesting. But quite unlikely.
Trouble with you, Lombard, is nobody can believe you.
Too bad, I was just trying to be helpful. Good night, sleep well.
I hope I will.
I'm sure I will.
not let you be.
Oh, now I see that Mr. Owen isn't infallible. You don't belong in this house. You haven't killed your way into it.
Aren't you ashamed of me?
Don't call me this. And don't call me Lombard. I'll tell you something about Mr. Lombard. Something else that Mr. Owen doesn't know.
Yes.
Give me a chance to grab him. Comes in. Don't shoot unless you have to. I'll go around the other way.
Take some.
No, you keep it because I can't go back.
But he might kill you.
If he does, he's going to make a serious mistake. The other thing he doesn't know is I am not Mr. Lombard. Now we'll find out. It's either Flo or the doctor. The one who's not in this room.
Door! Door! Get up! Open the door!
Who let that girl out of her room? Never mind about her. Come on, Flo. He's not here. Now we know who it is. I heard him go downstairs. Come on, Flo. We'll catch him.
How do I know you heard the doctor?
Don't be a fool, Flo. We've no time to waste.
Life is short, isn't it?
But I heard him too, Mr. Blower.
Oh, you did you? A nice present you got there. The Lombard's getting generous. You go first.
Come on, Vera.
Might be a trick.
Right, Flo. Maybe he's in the house. One, two, three. 3 Indians only.
He wants to make us think he's dead.
Just to throw us off the track. You don't fool us this time, Dr. Armstrong. What's that?
Lombard! Law, what are you doing down there alone?
I think I know where the doctor is.
Where?
Well, I'm not sure yet. I'll wait for you.
All right, we shan't be long. Being careless, unlocking your door when you don't know who's out here.
But I thought it was you.
You heard it too, eh?
I heard you pass my door.
Not me. I thought I heard you. Are you sure you haven't been outside of your room?
I wanted to ask you the same thing. Maybe Mr. Law came back to his room.
No. I knocked on his door. I heard a noise while I was dressing.
Like a door slamming?
Exactly. You heard it too, huh? What is it?
I don't know. I feel all the time that there's someone waiting and watching.
Yes, I know what you mean. Oh, it's just nerves.
Then you have to...
Keep a grip on yourself, darling. There's nothing supernatural about this business. It's definitely human.
He was the doctor?
The mad doctor.
Hiding here?
We'll soon find out. Must have been looking that way. And while he was looking, Dr. Armstrong... That was Armstrong we both heard.
What was Law looking at? What do you see? What is it?
It's impossible.
Let me see.
You're going to see. Come with me.
What is it? Tell me.
Armstrong. He's been dead for hours.
For hours?
Since the last tide. No footprint around the body.
He was... Who killed Law?
Yes. There are only two people alive on this island. You?
And you.
So this is how it ends, Vera.
This is how it ends. Come to the truth now.
Yes. Truth. The entire truth.
Don't come any closer.
Oh, I see. That's not quite right, my dear. It doesn't fit in your nursery rhyme.
Don't try to talk your way out. You made one mistake. Giving me this revolver.
Look, I don't mind being killed. But I hate like the devil to be killed for someone else. Did I tell you I wasn't Lombard?
What is your name?
Charles Morley. You're not a very good detective. Mr. Bloor spotted the initials on my luggage the moment I arrived here.
Why did you come here under another name?
I knew Lombard very well. He committed suicide. I wanted to find out if Mr. Owen's letter had anything to do with it.
You expect me to believe that?
Why not? It's something much more difficult to believe. But one of us is Mr. Owen. I know I'm not. And I simply can't believe that you are.
Don't try to fool me. I know I'm not. It's got to be you.
Ahmedabad area traffic, Skyway.
Not so sure.
5556, leaving flight level 370.
You see, you have a doubt.
On
Don't get any closer. I'll shoot.
Oh, you won't.
Oscar 1 Alpha, arrival for the ILS runway 23, Ahmedabad.
Got to be an explanation.
Flight attendants will begin handing out forms momentarily. Please review and
Yes, that's it.
forms and keep them with you for
You've got to shoot me.
upon arrival.
Now, shoot!
But it won't hit you.
That's what I mean, shoot! Don't be frightened if I fall.
Game of the mind, Miss Taylor. You came just in time from the last shot. And now, the game's over. One little Indian boy left all alone. He went and hanged himself, and then the one armed. It's for you, Miss Taylor.
What if I don't agree to hang myself?
Oh, that's been taken care of. Do you mind if I sit down? Every artist has a certain amount of vanity. We all like the approbation of the public, and you are the last public. I had two great ideas. The first was a search for perfect human justice. And you've seen the result. To perfect this scheme, my second idea was to find an unwitting accomplice among the criminals invited here for punishment. I needed a respectable fool, and naturally I selected a man whose fear of death might make him extremely cooperative. I proposed a scheme to confuse the imaginary Mr. Owen. It was simply this. I must appear to be the next victim. Remember the seaweed? Armstrong and I placed it in your room. Your scream was perfect. We pretended to rush out, but according to our plan, we came back. Now, I was assumed to be dead, killed by that gun I had borrowed from Mr. Lombard, and which he found later on the step. I counted on everyone's confusion in the dark, and I counted on Armstrong, who played his part to the hilt. I knew no one would challenge the doctor's authority when he would say he has been shot through the head. After that, I had to play my part, and what a part it was. No one would suspect me, least of all the dear doctor, who thought that I was about to discover the unknown murderer, and was waiting for me on the beach and worrying about the success of our plan. A few minutes later, he had nothing more to worry about. Justice had triumphed once again. Too late he had learned that drinking when it gets out of hand can be fatal. you see. The whole thing has been as inevitable as the nursery rhyme. When the boat arrives in the mainland, there'll be 10 dead bodies and a riddle no one can solve.
10?
My dear child, I'm an old and sick man. I received my death sentence a year ago. Rather than go painfully and slowly, I choose to leave this wicked world with a proud record of good deeds.
How can you force me to hang myself?
The only living person found here with 9 corpses will certainly be hanged, as the last little Indian has to be. Public hanging isn't pretty. If you'll allow me to give you a piece of friendly advice, do it now, privately, or dignified. And now my work is done. Never should trust a woman.
Thanks for the advice, Mr. Owen. If I hadn't trusted you, darling, and you hadn't trusted me... By the way, why did you trust me?
Why did you?
On account of one thing, Mr. Owen, good for sea.
Somebody! I'm still alive!
Good morning. Ready to leave now?
Are we? Are the others ready too?
You call them.
So that's going to wrap it up for the in-flight entertainment. We're back on the flight deck. We've begun our descent down into Ahmedabad. You can see the smoke all the way out here. Looks like it's covering where we're headed. We've got a pretty steep descent path going on as well. Not sure why it has us dropping like a rock. But here we come. There's the smoke layer down there. And Nick and Telly are back here behind us. Oakie's ahead of us. Coming down. That might be, I think that's Okie right there, actually. Yeah, there he is. Down there. So we're coming down. We're down to 16,000 feet. We're going to have to start slowing her up. We're going to be slowing down to 250. We're going to kill the internal lights now. Get our night vision coming online. So descent weather briefing. See if there's an update. Last update before we come in. No. Still 030 at 3 knots. That's okay. We're going to land the other way. Slight tailwind, not an issue. 3,000 feet of visibility and haze and smoke, no significant clouds. 21 degrees, 1013 for the QNH. MCDU approach page is done, radios are set, engine anti-ice not required, FCP is set up, 2,000 foot over their platform altitude, 1013 is set, cross-checked and into standby. Approach is briefed, it's going to be basically a right-hand circuit. Auto brakes we're going to set to low. Altimeter we've set since we're going to be coming down through transition altitude directly. 10,000 feet, we'll put the lights on and ding the cabin as a final word. We're heading down to 7,500 feet. And there's Okie ahead of us there. It's 11,000 feet. We should be slowing up. I'm going to hit the throw the speed brakes out, get us slowing up here. Be slowing down to 250. That's Oki, another aircraft. He's leading us into our destination. Alright. So now we're slowing down to normal speeds again. Oki's going to be leading the way. Get ourselves nicely slowed down here. There we go. There's 10,000 feet, so we're going to turn on the lights in the back. Landing lights, lights in the back. Landing lights are on, turn off lights are on, and I'm going to ding the back just so they're aware.
We have begun our final descent into Nvidia. Flight attendants will be passing through the cabin to collect any trash one final time. Please ensure tray tables are stowed and seats are in the full upright position. Please also store any carry-on items either in the seat back pocket or under the seat in front of you. Please complete all Wi-Fi related tasks and stow any larger
check your thing. I'm sending out. I'm looking at OBS. Can everybody else hear me? Yeah, I just checked the feed. I'm coming across. Make sure I'm not muted on your end. Like the stream is not muted. Oki, what runway are you going for? See our bottom 7,500 restriction coming up. We're at the bottom end of our range for, oh, there's that smoke. Look at that smoke there. Wow. Are you going for, what is it, 03? Are you doing 05? Okay. Make sure you voice out when you're clear of the runway, because I'm coming in the other way. Ahmedabad area traffic, Skyways 5556 at Alpha Hotel 380 on the arrival for the ILS runway 23 Ahmedabad. So our next restriction is 5,500 feet. There's Oki going in. We should have time. He should have time to get off before I come in. Let's check the winds, see if there's an updated. Metar is about an hour old. Yeah, winds have died off again. We're still stuck in the haze. 1013. So winds are irrelevant at the moment. What's our clean speed? Our clean speed is 203. Alright. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into manual speed here. We're going to set 235 and I'm going to activate our approach phase. Landing system's now coming on. There's that fog, smoky layer. We'll see where we are. We're coming up. We're going to make a little bit of a left turn, head up here to this point, and then we're going to curve around and come in for the intercept on the ILS. So we'll switch over to our ILS chart. That will give us our location. There we are there. So we're going to come up and around and then in. It's actually the ILS Yankee if we're doing the arrival rather than the DME arc. That's good. There's that turn. Now we're going to head up. Oki's on his way down to land. So we should have plenty of room. We are picking up the arrival. There's the identifier, India Alpha Hotel Delta, which is correct, and 110.3, which is correct as well. We're down to 5,000 feet now. No, I don't think Oki streams. At least if he does, he's never told me, and I've never found him to be streaming. We're heading down to 3,000 feet. Speed back to 220 now. And speed brake is fully forward, so we're going to arm the speed brake. Auto brakes are set for low. Lights are all on. Heading out for 3,000 feet. As we come up to the turn, we'll go into our clean speed. And then we'll be turning into that smoggy, smoky haze. Over to manage speed. Speed's going to come down to our S speed. Almost. He's on final. He might be on the runway, but I haven't heard him announce anything. He's still showing up on VATSim, so he hasn't got off the runway yet. Alright, we're down to 203 knots. He is close. He's right down there at the moment. And there's our turn starting. As we are continuing our descent.
Ahmedabad traffic, Malay 624, vacated runway 05.
There he is. He has vacated 05. So as we turn in, we're going to go flaps 1. Speed checked. It's going to bring us down to about 185 knots. Descent is continuing. Below the glide path, and we're off localizer, so approach mode is armed. Yeah, there it is. You can see the haze out of the window. I can. Not sure if you'll be seeing it yet in the dark. So I think another couple legs, and we should be arriving at sunset or sunrise, and starting to fly into daytime.
2,500.
It's exciting with the low vis. Yeah, I bet. Oh, that really gets thick. Oh. And so we're heading over there for landing, as you can see. Missed approach as we climb straight ahead to 2,000 feet, then right turn back to the localizer, 113.1, to join the hold, or as directed. You can see it's drawing the hold in. That's the turn back. It's actually India. We're not far from Pakistan, but yeah, it's India. We've been into Pakistan. We've been into Karachi a couple times on different flights. Imagine if if we were landing at sunset on this runway with the sun down there coming through all that smog. That would be something to see. All right, we're coming up to the intercept. Gear down. Flaps 2. Six miles out, 6.5 miles out. Still in nav mode. Start leveling off for the intercept on both the glide slope and the localizer. I think we've been to Islamabad as well, but I'm not 100% sure. Here's the glide slope. The localizer is capturing. Ahmedabad area traffic, Skyways 5556 established on the ILS runway 23. Flaps 3. And there's 5 miles. And flaps full. So gear down 3 green, lights are on, cabin is notified, flaps full, spoilers arm, brakes arm, and landing memo, no blue. Oh, this is interesting. $1,000 to go. Runway is not in sight. Starting to pick up the approach lights.
$500.
I have control.
$100 above. Minimum.
Landing.
$100.
I love those lights that flash in the cabin, in the cockpit as you come in.
50, 40, 30, 20. Retard.
And we're down. Reverse is engaged. Knots. $80 knots. Reverser's off. Hey, Dark. How you doing? Well, that's kind of the one we wanted. All right, so auto brakes are off. We'll roll down to the next one. And we'll get off at Charlie. So those winds were a little bit stronger than forecast.
India. The local time is
Ahmedabad traffic, I fly 5894, Delta 286, establishing on the 14 DMEM arc.
Stop and the seatbelt sign is turned off. Remember to use caution when opening the overhead bins, as items may have been shifted during the flight. We thank you for flying with us.
Our Alpha, we'll take it, whatever it is. Ahmedabad traffic, Skyways 5556, clear, runway 23. Those winds are going to be a little bit stronger than expected. But we're heading to apron 2, the international apron, which is right ahead. We can see Oki is already sitting there. He's over there. We'll go park up beside him. So flaps coming up, speed brake is off, taxi light is on. Landing lights are off, turn off lights are off, strobe lights are off. Yeah, that fog was something. All right, Alpha Pilot, see you later. Something I always forget to do on landing now is give me the tiller. Makes control a little bit easier. And we're going to park up here beside Oki.
Ahmedabad traffic, top 464 is 7 miles from Alpha Hotel 388.
Yeah, Nick and Kelly are getting a little bit close on their arrival. I don't know what this guy's doing over here. We don't land there. It's fine. Park it up in here. There we go. So we'll get the lights on. Parking brake on. And let's do our after landing check. So flaps are up. Ground spoilers are up, transponder will now go to standby, TCAS is off, strobes are off, landing lights, turn off lights are off, nose light is off. APU is going to be required, there is no external power, interesting. So we'll start the APU. Anti-ice is off, auto brakes are off. Let's put on the EPU now. Wait for that door to open up before she starts. Take it, that means we're not going to get our jetway over. We will see. Would have thought they would have APUs available, but it doesn't look like it. %. There we go, it's available, bleeds are available, and generators are online. So we'll turn the bleeds on. Engines coming off, fuel pumps are off, there's the kick over, ground equipment is fine, flight director's landing systems are all coming off. I'm going to start deboarding. No jetway, that's fine. We'll open the doors, we'll get the stairs. Let's do the back as well. And there we go. So we're in shutdown. So guys, thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed our flight here into northwestern India. And in 2 weeks, we're back streaming again. We'll have another flight out of here, heading to somewhere new. Thanks to Oki Nicatalia for flying along. And we'll see everybody
Hover traffic
in the sim.
Tomjet 464 is established 6 miles.
Just noticed my beacon was still going. Let's get that off as well. Much better. All right. Take care, everybody. We'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.